I'm so excited to chat with you because, as you know, I know you, I know your story. We've, featured you. You've been on my Instagram. You've talked about your stories. I mean, you were moving and grooving and doing great. And then tragedy struck. I mean, so much loss, all within a year. I'm so sorry, by the way, with your first marriage. You had a child and then you were separated and then he passed away.
Yeah, so my first daughter, it was her first day of grade 9.
Hmm.
We knew he was, terminal, and he set himself goals. I'm going to make it to her graduation. I'm going to make it to, the summer. He made it to her first day of grade 9, and I got the call the next morning that he passed.
Yeah.
I'd sent him a picture. He'd looked at it and went to sleep, and so he made his goal.
Yeah.
But it was very hard to support her in her grieving. Well, I also grieved. We were very close co-parents. He'd even come over for Christmas with my current husband and my family.
What I've learned through my therapy is grief. It's the same. It's like if you're grieving for someone very close to you, grief for someone that you know maybe not as closely is still the same. It's still grief. Weight loss can seem so trivial when you're dealing with all of this. So why keep showing up? Why, like how? How? Tell us how. Tell us why.
I keep showing up because I know I can do this. I know I can do this. And this program has given me so much more than weight loss. My son's on the spectrum. We have a cottage and he is terrified of water. And after my first program, I'd lost 24 pounds and I put on the swimsuit. And I got in the pool with him. I wasn't on the sidelines where he didn't trust. It was his mom in the water. So this program's given me things like that make me keep wanting to come back. It's given me the confidence to join my friends ATVing a trail that is terrifying. Like that's something I never would have done. I'm joining the fun now. I'm not watching from the sidelines. But my body is also very stress reactive. And I really had to sit with myself over the last break and just like, why when times get tough, do I revert back to my own ways? And my old ways aren't even overeating. It's that I don't eat at all. And when I do, it's that one meal and it's whatever's in the fridge.
So what's the answer to that? How did you get to that place? Because there's a lot of people who struggle. Like it's one thing to come back after a weekend of indulging. It's another to come back like after a year of just shit hitting the fan. So how do you get to that place?
I really leaned on the support of the community, to be honest. And I was vulnerable and I shared my struggles with everybody because it's not all rainbows and butterflies on this journey. Because I had done a few programs, I was aware of how shitty I felt. I was drinking the wine again to fall asleep at night, to shut up the brain. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do things with my kids. I wasn't pooping. I didn't feel good. And I wanted to feel good again. Beyond the fact that my clothes were tight, because obviously 30 pounds on, the clothes were tight again.
Yeah.
However, I also gave away all those bigger clothes. I'm not going back because I'm not buying bigger clothes again.
You've lost the weight before. Is it about the weight or is it about everything else?
I think it's about everything else because truly, I've always been comfortable and confident in my own skin.
Yeah.
It's just the kind of person that I am. My goal is never to be skinny.
Okay.
I probably won't ever be a skinny person. I want to be a healthy person.
What's that mean?
I have heart issues. I've lost so many people in my life. I don't want to leave behind my kids and my husband and my friends. I don't want to leave this earth before my time because of the way I've treated my body.
It's interesting because a lot of people, when it comes to grief, they're like, well, life is short. Fuck it. Let me just eat all the things. When your perspective is like, no, let me do what I need to do to be as healthy as possible so I can be here as long as possible. I mean, you can't lose weight unless you're healthy to begin with. And you know this because before when you had your weight issue, You were like very similar to me in that you were like hardly eating anything, and that was not working for you at all.
No,
What
when I'm not eating like that, it feels like that meal that I do eat, my body keeps all of it. And I've heard you say before, your
Mhm.
body needs to trust that you're not starving it. Because
Yeah.
when you are starving it, it's not going to let you let go of anything. It's going to keep everything.
Yeah.
Because even when I'm stressed out and not eating, I'm not binging on the pizza and the burgers and so that's another thing of doing the program and falling off. And I don't know if anybody else can relate, but even when I do go off, it might be just one meal that I
Yeah.
choose to have. I don't go completely off the rails anymore.
Okay, because I'm thinking of our listeners now, and like I said, it's one thing to come back after a weekend of indulging, let alone all this time. What have you done to get back into it at this point, and back to losing again?
And I started just with small things. So I started with my water. I still checked in. I still set my intentions every morning. And I truly did
Yeah.
have the best of intentions
Yep. Of course.
every morning.
Yep.
I think, too, by sharing, it was the community that
Mm.
held me together, held me up, cheered me on, or even just said, thank you for sharing your struggles because I feel the same way. And sometimes people don't want to admit that. But I don't think there's anything wrong in admitting that you're struggling. Try and at least give 1%. If all you can do is get the water in, get the water in.
Okay, so let's go back to that. You're in the frame of mind. You sign up again for the spring summer program, and you just something has changed. Could be time, could be whatever that is, and you start with the water. Then what?
So then I set my non-negotiables, and that was my
Okay.
timers.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I set my timers. I got back into meal prep. So on Sundays I boil eggs and I make sure that I have cottage cheese in the house, and I go veggie shopping and I cut up the veggies. I also now consult my work calendar. So if I know that I'll be in a meeting, let's say for my veg snack time, I'll go downstairs quickly before that meeting, grab the veg snack. I may eat it before the meeting or I might eat it after. If I don't bring it upstairs, I'm not going back down to get it, and I'll end up missing that meal or snack. And I started with those little steps, and they were non-negotiables. I hope that one day my children won't go through the same struggles that I have my entire
Yeah.
life. I just hope by showing good habits,
Yeah.
it'll follow.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, I think that your children watch us, and you have shown that you're constantly striving you're resilient, you are mindful, you are honoring yourself, you're showing up for yourself, you haven't given up on yourself. They see you eating good, nutrient-rich foods, they see you getting in the water and playing, and it's nothing wrong for them to see you want to make change either. I think that we are meant to change and evolve. And I love the fact though through all of this, you have been very accepting of where you are and who you are. And I think that is one thing that they will remember. I cannot believe our time is up. I honestly, this just flew by. I know you have got to address the community. One of the things I'm most proud of is our amazing community, bringing people together. It's just like minded people trying to do their best. So, what would you like to say to them?
I would like to say to this community, thank you for all of your support over the last year, but throughout all the programs. I have
Mhm.
made so many friends through this program that I truly consider friends, that I chat to on the side, that we share our struggles, we share our victories. There's no community in the world like the Livy community.
Yeah.
And I want to thank each and every one of you. You don't know how you affect somebody's life some days. A simple comment can make the world of difference to somebody and how they're feeling, especially when they're sharing some vulnerable posts. So I want to thank you guys, and you got this. Don't let yourself fall off for the whole program. It's not fun getting back on. If you can pick yourself up, one day at a time. Start your day setting that intention and truly try and give it your all, but also accept where you are in that day.
I think it's so important. I think that we don't necessarily have to go through the things to learn. If the person who's gone through the things is vulnerable in sharing what they've been through, I think there's so much to learn from that. And you're right. I truly believe the right thing said at the right time can be make or break in someone's journey. And that's why I'm so appreciative that you've taken the time to share your story with us today. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining me.